Shakur's very athletic, very talented. So is Teofimo. He's more explosive with power, but Teofimo is very athletic.
Skill for skill, as far as equality, to me, Bud and Canelo are equal because where they're in their career, because how accomplished they are. These two guys are also equal where they're in their career, because they're accomplished, but not as accomplished as these two, but they're still equal. Sure. Accomplished. You understand me?
I understand Shakur being the favorite, but I wouldn't count Teofimo out. To me, it's more of a closer 50-50 fight than what is going to probably be the betting odds, where I think Shakur is going to be the favorite because of more consistent performance.
Before the much-awaited clash, experts and analysts shared their views on the Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez mega fight. With mixed opinions across boxing circles, Ben Whitaker openly backed Shakur Stevenson. He praised Teofimo Lopez for his athletic ability and his habit of rising in big moments. Still, Whitaker felt the real edge belonged to Stevenson because of his deeper experience. He explained that Stevenson has fought at the highest level around the world as an amateur and as a professional, which shaped him into a more complete boxer. From Whitaker's point of view, this wide experience made Stevenson the safer and smarter pick to win the fight.
Oh, my boy Shakur, I just think he'll just keep the distance, keep it clean, fight when he needs to, box when he needs to. But I do like Lopez. He's very athletic, he knows how to box, and I think when there's an occasion like this, he does rise to it. But I just think Shakur's been around the world as an amateur as well as a pro. I think he's more of a seasoned fighter.
Turning to legendary trainer Abel Sanchez, he laid out the game plans clearly for both fighters. He said Shakur Stevenson needs to run the fight by controlling space and range with precision. For Teofimo Lopez, the approach must be the opposite. Sanchez stressed that Lopez has to take charge early and stay aggressive. He believed Lopez must apply smart pressure and force exchanges. After reviewing the tactics, Sanchez surprised many with his final call. He predicted the bout would finish as a draw, with each fighter winning enough rounds to leave fans entertained.
Shakur's a great talent, and Teofimo looked great in his last fight. Of course, he didn't have Shakur in front of him, but I think that for Shakur, he has to keep the fight at his distance. If he does that, I think it's a win for him. Teofimo, he's more, he wants to draw you and he wants to counter punch. He's gonna have to be a different guy this time. He's gonna have to attack. He's gonna have to be leading the fight, or else it's gonna be a boring fight. I don't think it'll be a boring fight, but if he sits back and waits for Shakur's gonna wait for him. There's not gonna be exciting. But I think Teofimo will attack. I think Teofimo has to attack. I think Teofimo has to do what Zepeda did, except for Teofimo's a lot more talented than Zepeda was. So I think that I honestly, I see a draw. I don't know why I see a draw, but I just see them both having great rounds and giving us the kind of fight that I think the public is looking for.
From another angle, fighter Gary Antoine Russell broke down the styles. He described the matchup as a true 50-50 fight because both men carry elite confidence. Russell admitted Teofimo Lopez has clear advantages in strength and explosive athletic traits. At the same time, he felt Shakur Stevenson holds the edge in ring intelligence and technical sharpness. Russell summed it up as a classic boxing debate: power against skill. To him, these balanced strengths made the fight extremely hard to predict.
Versus Shakur, just looking at that fight stylistically, how does it play out in the ring?
It's 50-50. You know, in order for you to participate in this sport, you gotta have a high level of confidence. I feel like both of them has a high level of confidence. Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, but styles make fights. Naturally, I think Teofimo Lopez is stronger than Shakur. Naturally, I think he has more athleticism than Shakur, and he got a good IQ on the sport itself. But Shakur, I feel like he's a more smarter fighter. He's a more technical fighter.
Shifting attention to an iconic voice, Roy Jones Jr. instantly pointed out the elite skill level of both Stevenson and Lopez. He compared the talent level to a super fight like Terence Crawford against Canelo Alvarez. Jones explained the gap is not skill but legacy. The younger fighters simply have not had enough time to build the same resumes as established greats. In his opinion, both matchups represent equal talent clashes for their eras, and he ended with strong praise for the quality involved.
That's a good damn fight too. See, that fight is skill for skill as good as this fight. But it just haven't been around long enough to accept that. But skill for skill, as far as equality, to me, Bud and Canelo are equal because we're in their career. That's how our companies are. These two guys are also equal when they're in their career. Because they're a company, but not as a company as these two. But they're still equal. Sure. A company. You understand me? So those are two good damn fights and what fights.
Continuing the discussion, the Inside the Ring panel began choosing sides. While Max Kellerman, Mike Carpenter, and others leaned toward Shakur Stevenson because of his defense, Kellerman made an important note. He said picking Stevenson does not guarantee he will win. Kellerman explained what makes this fight different. Unlike many top fighters who avoid Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez is actively chasing him. He argued that Lopez's fearless mindset is what fuels the excitement. Even though Stevenson remains the logical choice based on skill, the danger is real.
Is the most complete power can box.
So you really don't know?
I don't know.
Who do you say, Mike?
I like Shakur.
Who do you say?
Shakur.
I say Shakur too. Now, that's a difference between saying I'm saying Shakur will win the fight. I'm not saying that. I'm saying who should be favored.
Yeah, that's right.
The guy with the best defense usually wins it. But it's what's interesting to me about this is one of the issues this era is facing right now is the other fighters are at least giving the impression that they don't want it with Shakur because Shakur's better than they are, right? Tio, at least, is the dude who says, let's find out. And at least has convinced Shady on this set, who pays attention. I don't know who wins that fight.
Wait, real quick. So you say Shakur because he's probably a better boxer, correct?
I'm saying, why hasn't Tank mentioned his name even, right?
I mean, but Tank don't mention nobody's name that's an elite fighter. He don't fight no elite fighters. Let's take him on.
Examining the Stevenson-Lopez matchup, fighter Keyshawn Davis shared his detailed outlook. He imagined Stevenson starting fast and controlling the early rounds. As the fight moves on, Davis felt Lopez would adjust and begin using his physical strength more effectively. When asked about possibly fighting Lopez himself, Davis said it depends on how Lopez performs here. In his view, a tough loss would still be acceptable, but a poor showing would remove interest from that future matchup.
Wins the first round. Shakur wins the second round. Slowly, I think Tio is eventually going to start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, it's just going to go from there.
Oh, do we see you and Tio fight in the future?
Depending on what Shakur do with him.
Hey, losing to Shakur, though, that can't be a death sentence, right? We can still see Tio back.
It depends how bad he loses.
Adding to the technical talk, Insider Showbiz gave his final opinion leaning toward Shakur Stevenson while calling it a tense style battle. He said Stevenson is the cleaner and more skilled boxer, but his approach struggles against slick, patient counterpunchers, which matches Teofimo Lopez perfectly. Insider pointed to Lopez's disciplined wins over technicians like Vasily Lomachenko and Josh Taylor as proof he can follow that plan. He concluded that at 140, Lopez's athleticism and counter-punching ability pose a serious risk, making this a dangerous fight for the favorite Stevenson despite the technical edge.
Teofimo knock out Shakur? No. Can Tio adjust to the point where he beats Shakur? Yeah. You don't see how? Shakur hates slick and economic boxers. So does Tio. They both hate where each other are. Shakur looks great against volume punchers. De Los Santos sitting back and not being active, Shakur doesn't look good. That's when they say he's boring. The thing is, Teofimo Lopez is an excellent fighter. He beat Josh Taylor and Lomachenko. How did he beat Lomachenko? By being patient. Y'all sleeping on Tio. And it's at 140. Now, the thing what's wrong with Tio is Tio also looks good as a counter puncher when you are a volume puncher too. Another thing is Tio looks very great when he's dialed in. He fights more athletic than Shakur. Shakur fights far more technically sound, and he's a more gifted fighter skill-wise. I'm leaning towards Shakur, but Tio can.
According to coach Breadman Edwards, he offered a different angle focused on dependability. He highlighted Stevenson's consistency, saying he almost always performs at a high level. Edwards also noted Lopez's past issues against southpaws like Sandor Martin and Jermaine Ortiz as reasons Stevenson would be favored by bettors. Still, he finished by saying that because both men show solid form, he personally sees the fight as much closer than expected at near 50-50.
Shakur's consistency, I like the fact that every fight, pretty much, he shows up. I think he had maybe one bad night against De Los Santos. But other than that, he kind of shows up and does his thing. I like his consistency, and I can see why he would be the favorite, because Teofimo struggled with the southpaw guy. I forget his name. I'm being bad with names tonight. But there's a southpaw.
S.
Yeah.
He also fought Puello.
Sendor
Martin.
Yeah, so I could see Shakur being in favor, but Teofimo is a unique guy because in these fights, when he's the underdog and like he just seems to rise to the occasion. So let me just say this. I understand Shakur being in favor, but I wouldn't count Teofimo out. To me, it's more of a closer 50-50 fight than what is going to probably be the betting odds, where I think Shakur is going to be the favorite because of more consistent performance.
Timothy Bradley shifted from breakdowns to a direct message aimed at Teofimo Lopez, accusing him of avoiding tough opponents, especially Devin Haney. He told Lopez to drop the attention-grabbing behavior and face Shakur Stevenson, who is moving up in weight, to fight him. Bradley accepted Lopez's talent, but criticized him for talking without proving it. He framed this fight as Lopez's chance to validate his words. To Bradley, this bout is the ultimate test where Lopez must prove he can handle hungry challengers.
Fight playing out. I know you're familiar with both of them. What do you think?
Teofimo Lopez, don't run. Don't run. You ran from the Haney fight already, dude. Come on, don't run from this one, bro. For real, bro. Stop with all the antics, bro. I know you like attention, but damn. Get in there and fight against Shakur Stevenson, bro. For real. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing. Stop playing around. Shakur ain't playing. No, Shakur ain't playing. No tune-ups coming up to see you in your weight, 5 pounds above 135. He can beat you. He knows how to beat you. That's what he believes in his heart, you know. Teo, you're talented. Yeah, you are, man. But damn, you talk too much and you don't back it up.
Next, Sean Porter shared his balanced view of the matchup. He recognized Teofimo Lopez's natural explosiveness, but said managing that energy is crucial. Porter gave Shakur Stevenson a clear 60-40 advantage, crediting his sharp offense and defense. He doubted Lopez could simply outbox Stevenson and said the best route to victory would be to disrupt his rhythm. Porter stressed this plan demands extreme discipline, especially in later rounds, for Lopez to stay effective.
Mo is explosive. He came into the game. That's a part of his DNA, right? But if you don't learn how to control your DNA, you just explosive. You just, and so he's got to hone in on that, be precise against Shakur.
Moving forward, Lamont Roach delivered a firm mindset-based prediction. Asked why he favored Shakur Stevenson over the athletic Teofimo Lopez, Roach focused on mental strength. He admitted Lopez's physical tools, but felt they would not matter. Roach believed Lopez is not mentally prepared for a full 12-round chess match against a technician like Stevenson. He predicted Lopez would grow frustrated and fall behind round by round. This led Roach to conclude Stevenson would win what he described as a fairly easy fight.
Shakur to beat a guy like Teofimo Lopez.
Even though Teofimo has a good skill set and some power and athleticism, I just don't think it's enough. I think mentally, he's not equipped to be in there with a guy like Shakur for 12 rounds. He's going to be frustrated. He's going to be outclassed. I think he's going to be just by the wayside, one step behind every single round. So I think Shakur beats him in a fairly easy.
Shifting away from tactics, Teddy Atlas highlighted the excitement factor. He said while Shakur Stevenson is extremely gifted, Teofimo Lopez brings similar athletic ability with more explosive power. Atlas described the fight as a thrilling meeting of two elite athletes, with Lopez having the power edge. He ended by building hype, saying the matchup has a lot to offer, and promised his final breakdown after detailed film study.
That I love about this fight, Bud, Shakur's very athletic, very talented. So is Teofimo. He's more explosive with power, but Teofimo is very athletic. He is very talented. You got two athletic guys, two talented guys. Again, Teofimo I would favor with the power. This is going to be interesting. I'll give you my breakdown. I'll give you my pick when it gets closer and I do all my film work. But I'll tell you, it's a lot to like about these two athletic, talented fighters.
From the view of pro fighter Dalton Smith, he shared insight based on personal experience. Having sparred with Shakur Stevenson since amateur days in Colorado, Smith praised both men and called it a true 50-50 fight. Even so, his past with Stevenson influenced him. He described Stevenson as an unbelievable fighter whose success proves his talent, and said a recent meeting confirmed his respect for him as a person. This first-hand knowledge led Smith to lean toward Stevenson in a close contest.
Great fight. Obviously, I've known Shakur from the amateur days. I've sparred him over the years in Colorado when, I was over there on training camps and stuff. So, Shakur's a great fighter, so is Teo. And I really think it is a 50-50 fight, but I think I'd have to favour Shakur in that one.
How is it sparring with Shakur Stevenson? A guy like that.
Yeah, it was good. Like I said, Shakur's always been a great fighter. Obviously, I've always held my own in any sports. You know what I mean? That's why I'm world level. But Shakur is an unbelievable fighter. What he's achieved through the amateurs as a professional. He's a good guy. I remember seeing him after his last fight against Cepeda. I was there. I had to catch up, I had a picture and stuff with him. So Shakur's a good guy, and I'm favouring him in the TO fight.
You guys tune in early 2026. It's going down. Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, sugar and sweet. We're gonna make it nice and pretty for you.
Based on all expert opinions, most lean toward Shakur Stevenson due to his steady skills and mental strength, pointing to a decision win. However, Teofimo Lopez's explosive power and history of beating odds make him a dangerous underdog who can change the fight instantly. Watch to see if Stevenson can control and neutralize Lopez's unpredictable force. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like the video, subscribe for more detailed fight analysis, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Tell us in the comments who you are picking to win.